Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. And you can see behind me here the sun. Sun, steak, and steel. Okay, let's say hello to a few friends this morning as they get their notices. And I bet you Brahim Mike. I'm glad I'm not a betting man. I would have bet Brahim's going to be number one. He's not even number two. Andrea, Manette, Chrissy, how are you? Wendy with Sega, and Rosalinda, Andrea, good morning. Fran from Orangeville, good morning. Nellie, and Kevin, our dear friend from Oshawa. Nicole from our staff. There's Brahim. Brahim, I don't know what happened. Tina, Nova Scotia. Cecilia, Shediac, New Brunswick. Mary, Norwich. Nativity, good morning. And Frida, how is you? And Wendy from Markham. Victoria, good morning. Danny, nice to have you on. Laurie from Alberta. Leela Werner. Deb from Motown, Detroit, Michigan. Sherry, Mississauga. Elena, how are you? New York. And freezing is Diane, I think. Donna from Newfoundland and Rose from Peterborough. Sue, good morning from Bolton. And Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia, and Rosa from Montreal. Sue, good morning. And Diane, nice to have you on this morning. And Kevin beat Brahim. Gary. And Rita, New Brunswick. And Sandy from Vancouver, Washington. Jean, good morning. Mary, PEI. And Marcia, she says it's 5:30 where she is in Mexico. Pat, good morning. And Sandy, I just missed someone there. Didn't see the name, went by too fast. Elaine, and I was talking. Kathy, Port Perry. And Arlene, good morning. And Linda, St. Jude, Quebec. Okay, and Fran, I didn't mean to miss you. Sue. And Catherine, Parksville, British Columbia. Kathy, Texas. Vera, good morning. And Cheryl, West Virginia. Bruno, good morning. Okay, couple more, let's go. Elaine and Wanda from Virginia. And Cecilia from Sudbury. Okay. Let's talk about mental health for a minute. But I've been reading some articles, and I'm going to put this together for you. But let me just say a couple of things. One, we got to stop reaching for pills. You know, it bothers me because, you know, it's almost like, well, healthcare is pills. Nah, it's not. Okay? Like, it really isn't. Anyway, like, take Ozempic to lose weight. I mean, this is like a fashion drug. Like, as if it's the be-all and end-all. I read an article, I think it was yesterday, that you can hardly get Ozempic. It's going off the shelves so much. I mean, doctors, they prescribe it, but the pharmacists can't keep it in stock. I mean, that drives me crazy. Take a pill to lose weight. Do you know there's an article there? Maybe I'll post it after. I think I did post it. I did post it. What am I talking about? You can take a pill so you don't have to work out. I'm telling you, it drives me bananas. taking a pill so you don't have to work out. Like, are you kidding me? And taking an antidepressant. And this is what we'll talk about today. Okay? Now, when it comes to antidepressants, I'm not telling people not to take them. What I'm going to do is report studies. Okay? And when I talk about mental health and depression, anxiety, whatever, I have a three-prong approach. Okay? A three-prong approach is very important, in my opinion. I have a lot of experience, not only in life, but in natural medicine, nutrition, and we see a lot of depression, and it's getting worse. And the problem is that people want to take a pill. It's a Band-Aid. When antidepressants came out, I'm telling you, there was a black box warning on them. The FDA approved them with some real hesitancy, SSRIs. And today, they just sort of, no more black box, meaning that, you take an antidepressant and it was meant to get you through the worst of a depression and never meant to be taken past 6 months. I remember reading that in the 1970s, for heaven's sakes. But here we are today, take a pill, take a pill. Depression, weight loss, you don't want to go to the gym, take a pill. Like, wow. But we're so indoctrinated by the pharmaceutical industry, which I mentioned yesterday again, has hijacked medicine in a lot of ways. Medical schools bow down. And physicians, they don't even realize it. If you go in to see a physician, generally, there's exceptions, of course, but generally, you are depressed. They're not going to talk to you about your metabolic health. They're not going to talk to you about your diet. They're not going to talk to you about exercise. They're going to talk to you about, oh, well, here's a pill. Here's an SSRI, as if Prozac was a cure. It's not a cure at all. And studies, I'm going to give you one study. Let me just give you this, okay? And this was done on exercise alone, okay? Exercise alone. Exercise, listen to this is the headline of this study, but was a meta-analysis study, meaning that they took hundreds of studies on depression, hundreds of them, and they analyzed them. And what they found is, this is very, very important. Exercise was more effective than antidepressants for the treatment of depression. Exercise, okay, here's the headline, more effective than antidepressants for treating depression. This is not, like my three-prong approach includes exercise, vitamin E. Move. Don't take a pill to move. Vitamin E. Now, one of the problems, okay? One of the problems, I discussed this yesterday with a friend. One of the problems with treating depression with exercise is compliance. It's the same thing with food, which we'll talk about in a minute. It's compliance. Once you're depressed, you don't feel like exercising. You don't feel like eating right. Okay? You don't. But those are key things, and actually when people do them, the treatment is better than an SSRI, a serotonin uptake medication. It's better. Now again, I'm a realist. I understand. Somebody's severely depressed, they don't feel like exercising. But what I was mentioning, and we were going back and forth with a friend yesterday, I was talking to them and said, look, you know what? If I am so big on habits, I am so big on habits. You know me, I got the 3 Ds. This is a 3-prong approach too. Desire, determination, and discipline. Okay? Somebody comes to my office. They're not well. Let's say they suffer with anxiety, depression. Just the fact that they came to my office, I know one thing. They got the first D down. Desire. You know what? I'm going to try something different. I want to get better. I want to lose weight. I want to be less depressed. I got high blood pressure, blah, yada, whatever it is. You have a desire. That's the first D. The second D is determination. Remember when I was talking about, I always gave my patients a plan. It always started with food. Okay? I certainly did talk to them about exercise or whatever, but I primarily talked to them about food. And I tried to teach them in my office that, and on my radio show for years and years and years, that food is medicine. That food isn't neutral. Food is either good for you or it's bad for you. There's no real in between. So we need to eat with a purpose. And I used to tell patients, look, you're a carboholic. Admit it. Desire, determination. I'm sending you home with a plan. Now you got to transfer the mind. Okay, you know what? I got a problem and I want to fix it. Now you got to transfer that 18 inches to the heart. Because it's the heart of the matter. You say, no, you know what? Dr. Martin said I got to do the reset because I'm a carboholic, and I'm going to do it for 30 days. Now I'm determined. Guys, you know what? When you look at people in health, really with anything in life, they don't get to the second D. They don't get to determination. They haven't transferred their head knowledge. Yeah, I know I'm an alcoholic or carboholic. Well, alcoholic too. I know that's my weakness. Look, we all have weaknesses. Okay, why don't we just admit that? We all got weaknesses. I'm a carboholic. Okay. Okay? Don't, there's a verse in the Bible in Psalm 51:6. It says this, okay? God desires truth in the inner man. Like, you just got to be honest. I mean, God already knows it, but he wants you to know it. And be honest about it. Hey, I'm a carboholic, okay? Got my hand up. You? Okay? And that's all right. I've admitted it. But the next 18, I got to bring it 18 inches to the heart. And now I'm determined. You see it on reset. People start the reset and they have a bad day and they want to quit. And I don't feel good. Who said it was going to be a bed of roses? Anything in life that's going to require a major change, it's not easy. I never ever tell people this is easy. I talked to a young lady the other day, okay? And I said, you like eggs? Oh, I love them, Doc. I said, good. You love meat? Yeah, I like meat. Good. You love cheese? Yeah, I love cheese too. I said, live on it. What? I said, I want you to live on it for the next 30 days. Are you ready? Because it can't be here or just here. You got to transfer it now to the heart and say, you know what? I'm determined. I'm so sick of being sick. I'm so tired of being tired. I don't want this life anymore. I want to change it. Okay, well, suck it up, Buttercup. It's going to be tough. Nothing happens in life that's worthwhile that is easy. Right? I like hockey. You see those hockey players playing in the NHL? I went to a hockey game live here a few weeks ago. I mean, the speed of I used to play hockey. The speed of the game and these athletes. Do you think they're not disciplined? Do you think, like in this day and age, they gotta be. They beat their body into like, you know what I mean? Like they just have to. You want to stay at the top? You better be disciplined. And that's the key. And then the third D is determination, then discipline. That's every day. You know what discipline is? Is learning to say no. Toughest words in the English language. No. You know what? Everybody's eating cake? Nah, not me. Everybody's having those carbs? Not me. You learn to say no. Is that tough? You bet your boots it's tough. Is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. Now, I brought you the 3 Ds. We got into the psychology, okay? And you know, that's, I don't know a lot about psychology, but I know that. You need the 3 Ds to succeed in your life in anything. In your marriage. In your relationships. In all these things, you need the 3 Ds. And when you got a weakness, okay? I'm talking about thousands of patients over the years. What's your weakness? I have a tendency, Doc, to be depressed. Okay. You look, it's the way you're built. You look at life and the glass is half full. Right? And you got a cloud over you to some extent. And that's just okay. But this is where habits come in, guys. This is what is so key. If you don't wait on your feelings. I don't feel like going to the gym today. I don't feel like going for a walk today. I don't feel like lifting weights today. No. You have a habit. You were determined. You built the habit. 21 days, 6 weeks to reinforce that habit. And no, I don't feel like it, but I'm going to work out today. I don't feel like it, but I'm going to cut out the carbs today. I don't feel like it. I feel like, I feel like I just gotta, I'm going to eat whatever I feel like. Nah, don't live like that. Recognize your weaknesses. And I'm talking physically here. Okay? Recognize your weakness. Like me, I've told you a lot of my story. And it's the reason, it's my reason the way I am. Okay? I tell everybody that wants to listen. I've been around a long time, but my dad was around before me. And my dad came home in 1968, and he's a diabetic. I was in high school. My dad's a diabetic. I didn't even really know what it meant. My grandfather died of it. I knew that. So my dad hadn't been feeling good for a couple of weeks. And you know what? My dad was my hero growing up. Okay? I love my mom, but my dad, I melted like butter around my dad. Just because he was my hero. And my dad, like he was bigger than life. And I couldn't even stand the thought of him being sick. He comes home, he says, I'm a diabetic. Okay, Dad, what's that mean? And my dad literally pulled me aside. Not on the first day, but on day 2. I'll never forget it. He said, son, it's sugar diabetes. What? What? And my dad started jogging in 1968. Nobody jogged in 1968. You didn't go out for a run. There was hardly, can't even think that there was a gym in my hometown. There were gyms at high schools, but not for public. I know I lived in the days of Noah. That's what my grandchildren say. But guys, so my dad the next day is jogging on the spot in the carpet in our home. My mother kicked him out. You get out of here. You're going to ruin my carpet. What are you doing? Even my mother didn't understand. My dad says, I'm working out because I'm a diabetic. And he said, I don't eat sugar anymore. What? What? And I watched him. And I said, after a few months, I'm not kidding you, true story. I said, Dad, you wake me up in the morning when you go for a run. I'm going with you. I'm going with you. And I listened to my dad. We didn't talk too much because I was huffing and puffing to run, to keep up with my dad. And, but I said, man, oh man, he's disciplined. And I just ate whatever I felt like, and I love sugar. And, I used to drink a lot of soda and, pop for my Canadian friends. And, one day I said, I'm going to stop doing that. I'm not drinking any more pop. I used to have chocolate. You know what my favorite chocolate bar was? O. Henry's. And Cherry Blossoms. That was in 1968. I've never had one since. Not even one. I don't even think of it now. I'm so used to it. And then I take 2,000 hours of nutrition, and they're telling me we need moderation, and I'm going, nah, not if you're a sugar diabetic. I needed to pass, so I have to learn what they teach. But I never believed it for a minute because I had that example at home, and I knew it was true because my dad could control his blood sugar. Exercise, food. My dad lived on steak, lived on it. You see, guys, when I say son, steak, and steel, I mean it. People ask me that all the time. When did you change your mind? In 1968. Yeah. I knew what was true. And when you take the, like when they tell you that red meat is no good for you, I had to learn that too. I learned that even in the 70s they were saying it because of cholesterol and because that red meat and, and the gurus, and they're all vegans and vegetarians and, they, anyway. Guys, seriously. Okay? Seriously. Anything you want to do in life, you need those 3 Ds. And especially, like I said, we're talking about, let's focus in on mental health. Before a person gets depressed, they've got to have habits and understand their weaknesses. And they have good habits. I'm going to the gym, whether I feel like it or not. I'm going to eat properly, whether I feel like it or not. Because if you live on feelings, okay? If you live on feelings, you usually don't go well. You live on your emotions, not going to go well. You need determination there and understanding. So, okay. 3-prong approach. I don't know. This may be a 2-part thing. Okay. Because I needed to do, I don't know if I needed to do the preamble to what I'm going to say. I talked to you about there's 3 new studies on mental health. Okay? Now remember, let's go back again. Summer of 2022. Mental health was turned upside down. It didn't take, by the way, and I knew it wouldn't. Okay? I was never optimistic that anything would change in this world when it came to the treatment of depression, Alzheimer's, bipolar, the summer of 2022. And if you guys could go back, I should actually, maybe get the numbers for you of the podcast. And if you went back and listened to the summer of 2022, these were earth-shattering, blow your socks off findings on mental health. Alzheimer's, they were looking for love in all the wrong places. They were looking for plaque. And all the research showed, it's not that. Bipolar, the treatment doesn't work. And they were looking for love in all the wrong places. And depression too, SSRIs. So, it really doesn't work. I mean, not well. And those should have been earth-shattering. They were to me. But I knew it wasn't going to change the way we do things. Because people want to reach for a pill. And the case in point is Ozempic for weight loss. People want a pill. They don't want the 3 Ds. They don't want to learn to say no. And it's not easy. And nobody said it was. And if they do, a pill is easy, but it doesn't work long term. We just know that. But that's what people want. Okay, so my 3-pronged approach, and we'll discuss this tomorrow. Okay? One, we're not reaching for a pill. We're going to go to the gym, or we're going to move, or we're going to exercise. It's going to become part of my DNA. It's going to be part of who I am. It's going to be just, that's me. I'm going to move. And what they showed in the study on movement is the more you do it, the better it is for your mental health. And we've done podcasts on this. Muscles and the brain, not only for your memory, muscles metabolically, for depression. Okay? Now we're going to look at what the sun does. Sun, steak, and steel. It's right there. It's right there, guys. Right in that title. If you haven't got that book yet, why not? Sun, steak, and steel. And the second study brand new study on mental health. The sun. We'll talk about it tomorrow. How good it is for your mental health. How good it is for depression. Does that surprise you? Doesn't surprise me. And three, okay? Exercise, the sun, and food, steak. What happens when you lower your carbohydrates? I'll bring you a new study tomorrow. Okay? Now tomorrow, we're going to do a morning session, okay? It'll be morning until I tell you it's not. Okay, good. Okay, guys? So we're going to do a morning session again tomorrow. We've been doing afternoons usually on Thursday. Okay. Guys, we love you. We love you. We love you. Okay? I know I say it, but I mean it. And we thank you just for the success of this program has to do with you. Okay? With you. Thanks for being partners with us in the Doctors In podcast. We appreciate it. Tell your friends. They can download the podcast on their smart device. Okay? If they're smart, they'll download the podcast. Okay? And what's Friday? Question and answer Friday. Get your questions in. Okay? We sure love Fridays. Okay? Open line almost. It's like my old days, the open line show. Okay? Okay, guys, we love you dearly. We'll talk to you soon.